Heisman. I got a letter from...
No, there's no letter for it. I don't need all that. So this week, I am putting groupthink.
Groupthink?
In the form of NFL awards voters.
Okay.
Under duress. Because now, I mean, that is Brew's ballot image, but Brew, this is not you. I mean, I'm not.
Well, why am I the one on the
I don't know, man. Ask Cubs. I'm not in charge of the graphics department. Because at some point, we need to be the change we want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And if we want the NFL's most prestigious award, the MVP, to just be, hey, who's the guy we're all talking about on a team that's awesome, even if he, even by his own standards, isn't having an all-time year to be league MVP, then fine. If we want the award to have real resonance, then let's actually award it to whoever's having the most outstanding season. So right now, what you're seeing a lot on the internet is Lamar's numbers this year compared to Lamar's numbers last year. And the argument is, well, if he was MVP last year, what about this year? But the real argument should be is, are we sure he should have run away with it last year? 50 voters, 49 said Lamar was league MVP, when statistically, it's probably the third best season of his own career, maybe the fourth best season if you include this one. Right now, I fear something similar is happening with Josh Allen when I see him win Player of the Week for a game he threw 140 yards because he caught a touchdown pass.
I mean, it's pretty
But
good.
except it's catching a touchdown pass, if like the running back threw it to him, is one thing. Getting the lateral and running it in. So here's the context I'm putting it on. Here's Josh's season against a quarterback that we've all said is having a down year. What's wrong with him? When are we going to see the old Mahomes? Now, I know what people are going to say, the turnovers. Mahomes has 11, Josh has 7.
Fake reception
fake reception TDs, he's winning. And again, I'm a Josh Allen guy this year. But if
interesting, you left passer rating off of there.
What? I don't build the graphic.
What was it? What is the total touchdowns? I'm not trying to be sarcastic.
The total touchdowns, 20 to 26. 20 to 25. Well, including the fake reception touchdown.
I think he got 27. I think he got 27 total touchdowns.
He did. He got 2 touchdowns on that play.
So that might be why he has 27.
Maybe. But Mahomes has 1 rushing touchdown. I think Josh has 6. By the way, I'm not arguing Patrick should be league MVP, and I'm not even arguing that Josh shouldn't be in the discussion. But last year it ended up being almost unanimous. It was 49 votes for Lamar. Saquon needs to be there. If someone say, you know what, the unit I've been most impressed with is the Lions offense, and Penei Sewell's been the best. I'd love to hear that argument. TJ Watt getting an argument. My fear is next week it's going to be Bills-Lions, and the quarterback that wins that game is going to be the MVP like happened last year with Ravens-Niners. The quarterback who won that game just runs away with it. I just want there to be a diversity of MVP opinion and not everyone feeling like they have to just not be out of step with other people. That's
I agree that it's... You guys, I think you know, because I've said it on this show, I think they should actually make a quarterback award like the Cy Young. Call it Tom Brady Award, Peyton Manning Award, whatever, where that's for the quarterback.
It's not bad.
And then the MVP could be a quarterback, but it's for anybody.
Yes.
Like just like baseball.
Just like Cy Young
can
win MVP.
Right. Like I totally agree with that. Here's where I disagree with you.
And I think Josh having a great year.
Well, that's the thing. You are right. His numbers, I mean, you just showed them. They're only a little bit better than Mahomes, who we know isn't having a great year. But when you watch him, you watch their games. I mean, we talk about he's a one-man show. With no disrespect to the other guys, he is doing so much for that team, kind of by himself. And that's where I think he's got the slight edge. But like I said, if Saquon breaks Dickerson's record, I think Saquon
just very quickly, last point, because I thought Lamar probably was the MVP last year. When I saw the voting, because I went back and looked at it again today, 50 voters.
Who got the other? Josh got
1, 49. It just strikes me as it's almost like, okay, group, what are we doing? And no one wants to be out of step with it.
Yeah, you want somebody just like the congressman who was like, I only vote defensively.
So like when Gary Washburn, my man Gary, voted for Carmelo Anthony.
Clear
LeBron didn't win the unanimous MVP. I mean,
go ahead.
Different.
That's
okay. I want to take this in a few directions. One, I agree with what Bruce's saying about the whole Cy Young Award and MVP. That's actually a great idea. That solves this completely now. because then people won't feel that there's pressure to kind of give the MVP to the quarterback. Do it, have the best quarterback award, yada, 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 boom. That actually solves this problem overnight. So the NFL just go do it. It's a very easy thing to have. It'll take 2 seconds. You could call it the Tom Brady Award, or you don't even have to name it after any quarterback. Honestly, it doesn't even matter. So there you go, boom. That's that aspect. But again, it's so disingenuous to be like, oh, everyone was praising Josh Allen in a game that he only threw for like 100 yards. It was a snowstorm. Okay, it was a snowstorm, and anyone who watches that game saw that Josh Allen was a monster, okay? Throwing beautiful balls, getting lateral passes, holding on to the ball and barreling through people. Like, I've already broke down that game, so I'm not going to go through it all over again. But that's, again, why you got to actually watch the game. And again, we know, because he's like, oh, it wasn't like a real reception touchdown because he just got the ball and then ran it in or whatever. We know. Nick Wright was literally praising Patrick Mahomes for getting into the end zone with against the 49ers. Okay? And same thing when he ran up the line, up the sideline, and was praising him, acting like it was like the biggest play in the history of the NFL. So you want to talk about putting other people under duress and groupthink and all of this type of stuff. It starts with the media up here, man. That's what it starts with. When Patrick Mahomes has a bad game, and you say that he played a perfect game, that's why you got to be consistent. Everyone. Not, again, this isn't just directed towards Nick Wright. It's just everyone. You're always going to have some inconsistencies. It's impossible. Like I've said before, like when you make as much content as these guys make, as I make, as whoever makes, like you're going to trip up. Like it's just not possible. It's just you talk too much, you're gonna step over yourselves. But the goal is to not do that consistently. You want to be consistent, not consistently inconsistent. And so it's absurd. And this is where I then want to bring it back to, honestly, even just like the Mahomes versus Allen. This is where I have my direct question to you guys. Why, and don't give me political nonsense. I don't want to hear it. I don't care how these quarterbacks look. Nothing about it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. I want real, honest, actual, like, football answers. Why do you think that Josh Allen is the MVP and is having a great year, whereas Patrick Mahomes is seen as not? That's what I'm curious. Why would Josh Allen be favored to win the MVP, whereas Patrick Mahomes even top 5 up there? I know obviously we only see 4, but I don't know, is he technically 5 or 6 or 7 or something, if it even goes that far? Because it's obvious to me that Josh Allen has been playing better. That's very obvious to me. And that Josh Allen has been a major facilitator as to why the Buffalo Bills have been winning. Whereas Patrick Mahomes, and we can say it's because of injuries and any of this other stuff, has held his team back in many moments. And it is funny that passer rating's not there. It is funny that we don't have rushing yards up there, total touchdowns. Like, it is a little weird. Cooking the books a little bit. Cooking the books. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense now, does it? But I'm just curious where people's mind goes, where people think how a graphic like this can exist, and yet people are all over, even like media, even people in the media, because that's why you can't call it bias, because there's people in the media that are absolutely Mahomes fans, praise him, sing his praises. Brew is the perfect example. We know he loves Mahomes, thinks Mahomes is, Jordan-esque, all that type of stuff. We know that. Obviously, nowhere near as much as Nick Wright, but we know that. And yet he is saying his ballot, Josh Allen is number one and not Mahomes. So that's why I want to hear, like, that's why bias is not the answer. It's not voter fatigue with Mahomes. It's not wanting Mahomes to fail. That can't be the answer. Chris Broussard does not want Mahomes to fail at all. He wholeheartedly believes in Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs for that matter. So so it can't be some bias. It can't be some anti this, anti that. Can't be a physical appearance thing. None of that can exist. So that's what I'm curious. I'm curious what other people see with their eyes and why. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Josh Allen should be, the MVP frontrunner? And do you think it should be Saquon? And honestly, my more important question is really kind of like, how do you make sense of this graphic and yet see the MVP odds? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.